Okay. Dragon Ball Daima episode 17, titled Goma. This is going to be a review of the episode. Of course, as always, major spoilers. Major spoilers. This is the best episode we've seen so far. This is like far and away the best episode. I mean, the best episode probably up until now was probably the Tamagami number 3 fight, right, that Goku did. The Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta transformation was awesome, but there was just something about the Tamagami number 3 fight that just felt like the episode as a whole, to me, was better. This probably tops the Tamagami number 3 fight, honestly. This is a really good episode, and this was really the beginning of the final battle of Daima, right? So we know now that Daima is only going to go until the end of this month, so this is the fourth to last episode. We only have 3 more episodes left. There's 20 in total, so we have 18, 19, and 20 left, and then the show is over. So we are really building up to the climactic finale of Daima here. So as always, I will go through the summary, and then I guess we'll just talk about my thoughts on the way through. We'll take a look at some images posted here courtesy of DBS Hype, and yeah, it was a very good episode. Very good. All right, so the episode obviously picks up right where we left off with the previous episode, where, you know, Goku and everybody meets up with Arinsu and Majin Ku and Majin Du, and they're essentially facing off against each other because, essentially what they wanted to do was go beat Tamagami 1, get the last Dragon Ball, and then wish for themselves to become adults again. That's the whole point. But they notice that Tamagami number 1 doesn't have the Dragon Ball anymore, and that's where they're met with Arinsu and the 2 Majins, and that's where the episode leaves off last time. So Bulma notices that, these 2 guys are similar to Majin Buu, and then Goku says they must have beat Tamagami number 1 to get the Dragon Ball, and then Majin Ku's like, I lost, but this guy Majin Du actually won. I like how Ku is just so blunt. He's like, yeah, I lost. So Supreme Kai steps forward. Obviously, Rinsu is his sister. He steps forward to greet his sister and explains that he was changed into a kid along with everybody else by the Earth's Dragon Balls, and their plan is to use the Dragon Balls to change themselves back into adults, right? I mean, she definitely knew that already, but I mean, he's just explaining that, right? So they just start talking like, oh, it's been a long time since, you know, we've met, blah, 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 blah. Arinsu actually calls him by his real name, Nahare, and I guess Supreme Kai just theorizes like, oh, you must have the same desires as Degasu, which is to become the ruler of the demon realm. And then she's like, oh, don't you loop me in with Degasu. Essentially what Dr. Arinsu wants, apparently. I mean, she doesn't explicitly say what she wants, but she says like, what exactly is the phrasing she uses? She's like, what I want is like a more fearsome and powerful demon realm. And like the thought of a peaceful demon realm disgusts me, is basically what she says. So she wants like an actual evolution of the demon realm itself, is what it sounds like, which is interesting. So after that, Arinsu essentially proposes a one-on-one match between one person from their group and then one person from Goku's group, and then whoever wins that match would get all of the Dragon Balls. So if Majin Du wins, they get all 3 Dragon Balls, and if someone from Goku's crew wins, they get the Dragon Ball that they have. So it ends up being Goku and then Majin Du. But what ends up happening is they do an homage to when Goku and Vegeta were figuring out who was going to fight Kid Buu. So so I have in my thing here, each group picks one fighter. Goku gladly accepts the offer. Vegeta asks Goku why he has to be the one to fight, and that they should play rock, paper, scissors to decide who fights. Same exact thing that happens against Kid Buu. Bulma breaks the ice by saying that, or breaks the tie by saying that if they go in order, Goku should be the next to fight. So that's the tie breaking vote was Bulma. Right, Goku fought Tamagami number 3, Vegeta fought Tamagami number 2. So now, if they go in order, it goes back to Goku. So Goku just starts walking up, and Majin Ku is like, all right, I guess it's my turn. He starts like running over to Goku, and then Dr. Reese is like, what do you, like, where do you think you're going? And then she tells Majin Du to get ready to fight. So Goku and Majin Du begin squaring off, and the fight does begin. By the way, from this point on, so I would say like, what is like the first like 4 minutes are just like kind of talking. But after the first like 4 minutes of this episode, the entire rest of this episode, up until the end of the episode, is just straight action, basically. All of it. It's 100% just action. So, Goku is facing off against Majin Doo, and he actually does start fighting in base form, which is not something I would expect. I mean, you know, Goku knows that Majin Doo was strong enough to defeat Tamagami number 1. So, you know, you would think that he would know better than to start in base form, but, you know, classic Goku fashion, he likes to sort of gauge how strong his opponents are. So before we get into that, I guess we should just take a look at some of these screenshots here. So this is just parts of their conversation with each other. This is Goku and Vegeta trying to figure out who's going to be the one to fight Majin Doo. Of course, they do the thing with like the big heads and stuff. Yeah. All right, so then we get to the actual fight between Goku and Majin Doo. Once we get into actual fights, it's going to be hard for me to actually like describe what the fight is like, because I can't remember everything that happens, but I can just give like a almost mini play-by-play here. Let's see. So the fight starts with Goku remaining in base form, and he immediately gets rushed by Doo. So Doo just like kind of flies at him with like his head out. It's like almost going for like a headbutt. Goku gets pushed back immediately, with the punches having not too much of an effect. With his punches having not too much. Yeah, he's going for some punches on Doo, and it's not really affecting him at all. He then decides to switch to his power pole to deflect Doo's stretchy arms. So Doo is using like the stretchy arm. Throughout this entire episode, Majin Doo uses stretchy arms the entire time. But he gets caught by an underground attack and nearly gets mouth blasted. Yeah, so Majin Doo does kind of do the Kid Buu tactic, where he like uses his stretchy arms to go under the ground and then pop them up right underneath Goku to land some punches. But what he does is he actually uses them to grab Goku, and then he goes for a mouth blast. So he's trying to like, he has Goku grabbed and he's trying to like mouth blast him, but Goku's able to like maneuver his way out of the way. So things, I guess Goku like dislodges himself from Majin Doo, and then he goes for a gigantic power pole slam against Doo, and he hits him right in the gut, but it just bounces right off. And then Goku gets slammed around like a ragdoll. So once that happens, Goku's like, okay, and then he goes Super Saiyan, which I guess he finally realizes he can't do anything at base. So finally we have Super Saiyan Goku versus Majin Doo. You know, they're relatively evenly matched. I would say Super Saiyan Goku versus Doo, but I think it does appear to me, at least a little bit, that Majin Doo still has the slight advantage, even with Goku as a Super Saiyan. So Goku and Majin Doo are interlocked in a grapple. The best way I can describe it is there was one part of Goku versus Frieza. I always go back to the Goku and Frieza fight because it's the one I'm most familiar with, because I've watched it like 100 times. There's a part where it's Super Saiyan Goku, I believe, versus Full Power Frieza, and they're interlocked like this, like they're both holding each other's arms. That's essentially what this was. They're both in a grapple, and Doo is about to power up a mouth blast. So Doo really likes these mouth blasts. I mean, he does mouth blasts like 500 times, but you know, he's got a hold of Goku's hands, so Goku can't use his hands to deflect this mouth blast. So Majin Doo goes for the mouth blast, and right as he's about to launch the mouth blast, we see a hand come up and like grip like a rock. And then out of nowhere, we see this purple blast like sort of break up the grapple between Goku and Majin Doo. And then out of nowhere comes Goma with the third eye on his forehead. And then that's where we cut to commercial. So let's see if we can see some of these images here. So Goku versus Doo, this is where Goku starts the fight in base form. You can see Majin Doo charges at him with his head out. Goku goes for the punch, but it has no effect. And then they start kind of scuffling here. Let me get a bigger image here. But this is Goku going for just some basic punches and kicks, but it really has like almost zero effect here. Like I said, his attacks almost just bounce off him like they're nothing. And here we have Super Saiyan Goku. Here's a good shot. Yeah, this is a really good shot. This is where Goku first goes Super Saiyan and goes for a punch against Majin Doo. I mean, again, he's Super Saiyan, punching him directly in the face, and it really has very minimal effect on him. So this is a strong guy, man. I remember Super Saiyan / Super Saiyan 2 Goku was enough to take out Tamagami number 3. So this is a punch that like really could have an effect on a Tamagami level character, and Majin Doo kind of just sits here and tanks the hit to the face. Anything else? Yeah, this is the shot they showed in the episode preview, and this is them interlocked here. This is Goku, Super Saiyan Goku and Majin Doo interlocked, and this is where Majin Doo powers up the mouth blast. They don't actually show that, but this is where Goma appears, and yeah, so this is where the commercial cuts into. This is after the commercial. So yeah, Goma appears, and he's just like this It literally is. I don't know if this is what they're trying to go for, but it literally is just Jiren with Goma's head. That's literally what he is. It's Goma, but like if Goma had no legs and he was sitting on Jiren's shoulders. That's literally what this is. That's what he looks like. So Goma appears, and then it cuts the commercial. So when we get back, everyone is essentially staring up at Goma, whose voice hasn't changed at all. It's the same like high-pitched voice. It doesn't fit him at all because it's like this massive, like super roided out character. By the way, just a very quick detour, just because this is mainly a Dragon Ball Legends channel. I am actually pretty nervous because this character is so big. I don't know how they're going to be able to get him into Legends. I was hoping he would be about the same size as Tamagami number 3, but he's certainly way bigger than Tamagami number 3. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, all right. So everyone stares up at Goma, whose voice hasn't changed at all, and he refers to himself as King Goma. So for games moving forward, Dragon Ball games moving forward, I wonder if they're going to specifically refer to this form as King Goma, because he even calls himself that. He calls himself literally King Goma is what he calls himself. So as opposed to just Goma, it's literally King Goma. So I wonder if that's like the name they're going to use for this third eye form of Goma, is literally King Goma. Both Neva and Dr. Rinsu both immediately notice that he has the third eye, so they both know what it is. And Neva is like very, very distraught by this. He's like, oh, this third eye is, an artifact that grants its user with unimaginable and extremely frightening levels of power. So they're really building up this third eye. And I mean, we'll see later in this episode why that is true. So Goku asks Goma if he's here to fight, and Goma says he's here to test his newfound strength. So here's Goma. Yeah, this is what he looks like, by the way. A good shot of him right here. We'll probably get a better shot of his like full body in a little bit, but again, it's literally just Goma on Jiren. That's what this character is. So here's Dr. Rinsu and Neva both realizing that he's actually got the third eye. Here's a flashback real quick to Abura, who's also got the third eye. And I think even Gloria was like, he mentions to Neva, he's like, wasn't the third eye missing after Abura lost it or something? And he's like, yeah, but I guess it somehow found its way back here. So I mean, we know how that works, right? All right, so he essentially, what happens is Goma envelops the entire area in a purple light and starts levitating boulders into the air, and he starts molding them into an arena, essentially is what he's doing. He starts molding these boulders like into an arena. So Vegeta just all of a sudden just like decides to jump into the fray out of nowhere and just starts attacking Goma. Because I think Goma's like laughing as he's doing the like it's kind of like the Emperor from Star Wars. Like, remember, I think it was the fight versus Yoda. It was when the Emperor was levitating like the seats in like the whatever it's called, like the Senate seats. He was like throwing them at Yoda, and he was laughing while he was doing it. That's kind of what it's like here. Goma is levitating these giant boulders from like around the area, and he's like laughing. And I guess Vegeta just got really annoyed by that and just started trying to attack him. So Vegeta attacks in base form. So he jumps up to attack, but gets blocked by one finger. Goma uses one finger to block him. Again, it is actually Jiren. This is exactly, remember when Goku went Super Saiyan. So Goku goes through all the forms when he first fights Jiren for the first time, and when he gets to Super Saiyan God, that's when Jiren decides to actually use a finger to block God Goku. That's essentially what Goma does. Let's see, is there a picture here of him doing that? Yeah, right here. He blocks him with one finger. But yeah, look how big Goma is. Look how big he is. It's going to be tough for like Dragon Ball Legends to get him in there. We'll see. So he blocks Vegeta with one finger, and Goma starts chasing after him. Again, Goma doesn't really know yet how to use his strength because he's not had an opportunity or a chance to use the third eye yet. So he's kind of chasing Vegeta around like his own castle. They're kind of like on top of the castle. And there's one shot where he actually punches down at Vegeta, and he actually ends up breaking part of his own castle. And like, he's like, oh my God, what am I doing? He's like, I can't believe I just I broke part of my own castle. So Vegeta then decides to go Super Saiyan, obviously knowing he can't really do anything in base form, and punches Goma square in the face, direct hit. Zero effect. Goma doesn't even flinch. Let's see if there's a good picture of that. So yeah, this is him breaking part of the castle. This is him using the third eye. And what is this? Just a picture from jumping up. Okay. Yeah, this is him using the third eye. Here's him breaking part of the castle, being like, what am I doing? Yeah, I don't think it actually shows. It doesn't show the actual picture of that. But Vegeta goes for a point blank punch, basically to Goma's like face, and he literally just sits there and tanks it, like as if nothing happened. So I mean, this guy's, you know, he's the real deal here. He sends Vegeta flying immediately afterwards, and Goku says that they all need to go help out. And then Bulma's like, oh, you know it's serious when Goku asks for everyone to help. So yeah, we got a real threat here. So everyone starts attacking Goma at the same time, but no one is able to put a dent in him, as Goma simply laughs off their attacks. Yeah, I mean, again, this is very apparently now this is the final boss of Daima. is Third Eye Goma. We thought it was going to be, you know, potentially like a fusion between Majin Buu and Majin Ku. Some people were like, oh, the Tamagamis are going to all fuse. But yeah, this is, yeah, obviously this is the final boss here. Bulma actually tells Rinsu to help them out, as Goma continues just simply like slaughtering everybody and like no diffing everybody. Rinsu actually then agrees and tells the Majins, both Du and Ku, to jump in and help out the rest of the crew. And then also Neva goes up to Tamagami number 1 and he winks at him, indicating that he should also help out. And I think he actually also sends like some telepathic signal to him to go help out. So we have Majin Du, Majin Ku, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Supreme Kai, Tamagami number 1, and then I think Ponzi jumps in. We have Glorio jumping in as well. Yeah, everyone begins helping out, but Goma's third eye allows him to control objects. Oh yeah, well, I guess we'll get to this. So this is everybody jumping in to sort of try and do something to him. Yeah, it's Goku, Piccolo. I mean, he's just blocking everything. This is him using the third eye. What is this? What is this image here? Oh, this is the bug pouch. The bug pouch. That's gonna probably matter later. So this is him using the third eye, of course. And okay, so let me continue here. So essentially, the way that the third eye works is it I don't even know, like it's like it is like the Force from Star Wars almost. Like it allows him to control things just on its own. So like he's literally like it's like telekinesis. He's lifting like boulders into the air. He's he's deflecting attacks with the third eye. There's a scene where I think it was Majin Buu goes for like he like wraps himself around Goma and he like subdues him, and then Tamagami number 1 goes for like a blast against him, but the blast gets to like right here, and then his third eye just deflects the blast right back at Tamagami number 1. So again, he can do these things. It's almost like Moro a little bit, where like Moro's magic. It's like a magical artifact, and that's essentially what it is. Like they don't use ki or in the demon realm, they use magic, as Glorio referred to it as. So this is, you know, essentially magic. It's kind of similar to Moro in a way, because Moro also referred to himself as using magic and being a magician, right, or wizard. Everyone begins helping out, but Goma's third eye allows him to control objects and energy around him, allowing him to block and redirect attacks without using his arms. Yeah, let's see. Is there a good picture here? Yes, this is exactly what I was talking about. So let me open these up. So we have Majin Buu wrapping him around his arms, essentially trying to subdue. So these are Majin Buu's own arms. And he's, you know, kind of getting suppressed here by Majin Buu. And then this blast right here, this blast is from Tamagami number 1. But right as it gets here, the third eye, which is lit up, it's hard to see in this image, but it is lit up here. He actually just, without even doing anything, he just redirects it back at Tamagami 1. So he just uses it to blast them. He uses their own attacks against them. And this is everyone just looking up at Goma. I mean, this is like real, this is actually just RPG final boss scene. That's what this is. I mean, that's essentially what the entire Daima series has been. It has been an RPG that has built up to this final boss. I mean, that's really what it is. We have Tamagami number 1, Glorio, Supreme Kai, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Saiyan Goku, Piccolo, Majin Ku, and Majin Buu all here ready to go to battle. So So then there's another scene. Let me just continue reading here. They try their best, but seemingly no one is even able to hurt Goma. Everyone enters into a combined beam attack, which is what we saw in the episode preview. It was like Goku doing the Kamehameha. We had Vegeta doing, I think it was the Gallic Gun. Piccolo's doing the special beam cannon. We had Glorio shooting a blast out. The Majins are shooting something. So it was like from all angles. We have Goma in the middle, and on these floating rocks around Goma, everybody is shooting out their energy blast. So they're all shooting him at the same time. Goma actually is able to, I guess, erect a barrier around him. It's like this purple barrier. It's kind of like a purple version of Android 17's green barrier. And it does block all the energy blasts. But not only does it block the energy blasts, he can explode the barrier out. So he explodes the barrier out, and everybody goes flying. Goku and Vegeta are back in base form and essentially just wipes out the entire area. Everyone enters into a combined beam attack against Goma, but Goma unleashes a barrier that is able to shield him from the damage and explodes outwards, sending everyone flying back. Vegeta, so again, Vegeta and Goku now in base form. Vegeta asks Goku for one of those bugs, which he's referring to the Senzu bean one. But before Goku can do anything, Goma essentially lifts Goku's body up. So Goku is like very worn out. He's in base form. His eyes half closed. He's doing like the typical anime protagonist tired face thing where like one of his eyes are half closed. And Goma is about to essentially finish Goku off with a huge beam attack. And right as the beam is about to hit Goku, we have Majin Buu and Tamagami number 1 come in to essentially save Goku and stop the beam momentarily. And then at that point, let me just see this. If one of those bugs, Goma shoots the blast at Goku, but he's saved at the last second by Majin Buu and Tamagami number 1. Goku says he's had enough, and finally, he decides to go Super Saiyan 3. And that is the end of the episode. So yeah, here is the scene. By the way, essentially from this point onwards, like this point, this is like movie quality level animations. Everything looks really good. You can tell a lot of the budget for, and I'm not saying this Daima series has been low budget or underwhelming in terms of the animation department, but this is another level. This episode in particular with the Goma fight, like if they had this in a movie theater, it's that quality. It is that level of quality. Let me open up some of these pictures here because they do look really good. All right, so what do we have here? We have this is everyone is trying to like power up their beam attack. This is Goma with his barrier up. This is Goma essentially stopping the beams with his barrier, and this is before he explodes the barrier outward. This is the barrier exploding right before everybody gets hit. You can see these like purple blasts are coming out of the barrier. And then this is Goku and Vegeta after getting blasted backwards, and Vegeta's asking for one of the bugs. But I think we did show earlier that the bag that was holding the bugs did fall out. But that this is obviously, it's hinting at something. It's hinting at something, which we haven't seen yet. So then we go up here, and yeah, we do see Goku. Goku's like, all right, enough playing around. And he goes Super Saiyan 3. This is the first time we've seen Super Saiyan 3 Goku in Daima so far. This is a good shot right here. Goma is actually looking pretty serious. There's essentially no point in this episode where Goma is not like laughing or smiling. But when Goku goes Super Saiyan 3, he does actually make a serious face. So here's Goku with Super Saiyan 3. It looks pretty good. I mean, they did keep the same design for Goku Super Saiyan 3 as he had in Z, right? It's definitely noticeably different than Vegeta, which I kind of do like because it means you can have distinguishable characteristics between both characters' Super Saiyan 3 forms, which is cool. And the next episode preview is actually showing Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Goma. Now, I do want to make this clear. This is probably from like the first 2 minutes of the next episode. So they really did not want to show other things that happen in the next episode. I imagine next week's episode is really where we're probably going to see, if there's going to be a new form in the series, if there's going to be a new fusion in the series, I think next week is probably going to be it, right? We got 3 episodes left. Are they really going to wait till like the last possible episode to do something new? It's either going to be next week or it's going to be the week after. I think next week is the money week. I think so. We'll see. But let's take a look at some of these screenshots for the episode preview for Goku. Again, this Goma guy's huge. Look at this. Look how big he is. it's Jiren with Goma on his shoulders, man. That's who he is. But yeah, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This is obviously a reference to the close-up that Goku does against Fat Buu when Goku first goes Super Saiyan 3. I think it's actually the final scene of the episode where Goku goes Super Saiyan 3 against Buu for the first time. He charges towards the camera, and then like the art style changes, and then that's the end shot of the episode. That's what this is right here. The same pose. It's like with one hand out like this, and I think it's the hair is in the exact same position as well. So we finally have Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This was a full action-packed sequence the entire time. Incredible animations. The action was very good. Everything. This legitimately was like a 10 out of 10 episode. I don't know what else they could have done besides, you know, introducing like a new form or something, which I imagine we'll probably see next week. But I really, really did enjoy this episode. Very big build up for this, but I think I had a lot of fun watching this. So hopefully episode 18 does pay off just as much as this one did, because this was a pretty cool episode. Goma definitely seems like a very formidable opponent. And I think the third eye, in terms of how it functions, what it does, what it enables Goma to do, it is a very interesting sequence here, right? Goma essentially goes from like a nothing character to being like this ridiculously overpowered, just beyond insane level main villain here. So I am excited. I am actually very excited for next week now. I've enjoyed Daima so far. I really liked each episode. Pretty much every episode I've liked, but this is really one of the few episodes in Daima so far that feels like Dragon Ball. So I'm very happy about that. So let me know what you guys think once you've had a chance to watch the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.